Today, we're making soup Joumou, Haiti's national soup that is as symbolic as it is tasty. We start with the beef stock, often beef shin for the rich flavor, but more importantly, the collagen, which with long cooking will give us body. Often boned in or with the addition of bone for deeper flavors. The marrow will provide us with natural fat, the key to many pumpkin recipes. At home, you can use any braising joint with a good amount of fat. We rub the meat and bones with lime juice or vinegar to get rid of any potential surface impurities. For supermarket meat, you can skip this step. We then rinse them. Cut into large chunks for faster cooking. We add a generous amount of water. We salt about 0.6% of the beef to meaningfully penetrate. You have the option to throw in some aromatics now. Today, we layer our flavors later, so they stay bright and fresh. We gradually bring in some heat. You then have the option to skim in the first 20 minutes for a cleaner flavor, after which we want to keep the fat. We then cook this until collagen has become gelatine. Now the star of the show, the pumpkin, often the local moscata type. You want to look for something with a dense and orange flesh, with a sweet, nutty profile. Butternut squash is a wonderful substitute. Whatever you choose to use, you have something that's 90% water. And to get the most concentrated flavor, you have the option to let them steam in their own juices. However, given the signature orange color and the warm pumpkin aroma are fat-soluble, we ladle a generous amount of rendered beef fat to take on those aromas and a touch of broth to get the steam started. Lid on, medium heat. Once the lid is too hot to touch, low heat, about 30 minutes. Now, we're practically making pumpkin mash. You can do this however you like, but you want to keep it rustic, yet pourable. You can pass it through a sieve or use a blender if you want to find the texture. Now we build the soup. You have the option to skim off the remaining rendered beef fat, and we start merging the two, whichever way you like. We bring back some heat and start building flavors. Garlic for some savory depth, and given the short remaining cooking time, gentle pungency. Thyme for some earthy herbal note to balance the sweetness we just concentrated. Scotch bonnet for some fruity floral heat and brightness. You can cut them in half if you want more heat. We taste and we adjust the seasoning. Touch of salt. Optional black pepper for some earthy heat. Lid on. And we let this simmer for about 10 minutes for the flavors to meld. Now the root vegetables. You can use whatever you fancy. Today, carrots to reinforce the sweetness and to give us some contrasting texture and color. Turnip for some earthy sharpness, once again balancing the sweetness we just concentrated. Until tender, about another 10 minutes. Now, chunky cabbage goes in for texture and color and absorb this beautiful golden broth. Optional for more texture, short pasta, and the starch will thicken our broth slightly. We simmer until the pasta is cooked. We've removed the Scotch bonnet and add a generous amount of parsley for color and brightness. And this is my very humble interpretation of a very symbolic dish.